another video. So it looked like the NBA and the WNBA has launched an internal.
Everyone thinks the brutal physicality Caitlin Clark faced in her rookie season was just jealous veterans giving her a welcome to the league moment. But the truth is far more sinister. An internal investigation memo leaked from the NBA has exposed a dark underbelly of sports betting, suspicious injuries, and potential criminal conspiracies. This isn't just about hard fouls anymore. We're talking about a scandal that could unravel the WNBA, and it all revolves around one question. Was the abuse Caitlin Clark endured not just personal, but profitable?
Wait, I am here to tell you, it's about to go down for real because the NBA has launched an internal investigation into the league. And boy, oh boy,
this fire didn't start in a vacuum. The smoke has been building for years. The recent lifetime ban of NBA player Jontay Porter for betting on his own games was the final alarm bell the league couldn't ignore. Porter was caught sharing confidential health information with bettors and intentionally limiting his own performance to ensure under-prop bets hit. He was the scapegoat, but he was also the proof of concept. He showed just how easy it was to corrupt the game from the inside, and now investigators are looking at the WNBA and seeing the exact same patterns of suspicious activity that got Porter banned for life.
I'm telling you, bro, this investigation is about to catapult into something major. And I keep telling y'all this, and I have to retell y'all this. The WNBA is going to be violated sooner rather than later over the civil rights and the treatment of.
The memo, obtained by ESPN, is a bombshell. It's a formal declaration of war on corruption. The league is now deploying advanced systems to monitor betting activity across all its properties, including its affiliate organization. They're reviewing how teams report injuries, how staff are trained, and how to identify concerning betting activity. This isn't a PR stunt. This is the league admitting they have a massive problem. One that goes far beyond a single rogue player like Jontay Porter. They believe the rot is systemic, and they're finally turning over the rocks to see what crawls out.
Caitlin Clark, yes, she was targeted, similar to Bounty. That's what I truly believe. I believe Caitlin Clark had a bounty on her. Had to have, bro. The way these players was attacking her, the way the referees was not calling certain fouls against certain players, throwing them out of the game, it is looking very bounty-ish.
And when that memo says affiliate organizations, it's a direct shot at the WNBA. The leagues are intrinsically linked, sharing ownership and oversight. This investigation isn't a trickle-down effect. It's a floodgate opening directly onto a league that just had its most scrutinized season in history. The WNBA's injury reports have been notoriously vague. Key players have missed games under bizarre circumstances, and officiating has been wildly inconsistent. All of this was happening while the league was experiencing an unprecedented explosion in betting interest, driven entirely by one player. At the center of that storm was Caitlin Clark. The treatment she endured transcended rookie hazing, Chenny Carter's blindside body check away from the ball, Angel Reese's flagrant foul to the head, the constant elbows, shoves, and off-ball cheap shots that referees consistently ignored. Compilation videos went viral, not just showing the fouls, but showing the shocking double standard in how they were called, if they were called at all. This wasn't just aggressive defense, it was a pattern of targeted physical abuse that the league and its commissioner Cathy Engelbert did almost nothing to stop. This is where the story turns from unsportsmanlike conduct to potential felony. The betting markets surrounding Caitlin Clark were the largest in WNBA history. Prop bets on individual player stats like points, assists, or rebounds, became the new gold rush. These bets are dangerously easy to manipulate. You don't need to fix the entire game. You just need to ensure one player has a bad night. If a few key people knew Clark was about to be physically targeted and taken out of her rhythm, they could make a fortune betting the under on all her stats. Think about the Jontay Porter playbook. He had a network, he gave them information on his health status so they could place bets before the public knew. He then took himself out of games to cash those bets. Now apply that to Clark. What if certain players weren't just being overly aggressive out of jealousy? What if there was a financial incentive, a bounty paid for by betting syndicates to ensure Clark underperformed, to make sure she didn't clear her point total? It sounds like a movie plot, but Jontay Porter proved it's the terrifying new reality of professional sport. The league's new focus on injury reporting is a direct admission that the system is broken and being exploited. Vague terms like questionable or last-minute game-time decisions are a dream for anyone with inside information. It allows them to place massive bets before the official news moves the betting lines. There were multiple instances where Clark was visibly hurt during a game, only for the team to downplay the injury or provide minimal information. This lack of transparency isn't just poor communication, it's a potential tool for market manipulation that benefits a shadowy few at the expense of the league's integrity. The NBA memo also specifically mentioned protecting players from harassment by bettors, and no player has faced more of this than Caitlin Clark. After a tough game where she didn't hit her betting lines, her social media would be flooded with death threats and vile messages from enraged gamblers. The league's new plan to use artificial intelligence to monitor social media and data from betting operators is a direct response to this. They know that the trail of corruption often starts online, with bettors who can't resist bragging or dropping hints, or with players and staff who let things slip. This puts the WNBA in an impossibly fragile position. Adam Silver has been the league's champion, the one who secured media deals and convinced NBA owners to keep investing. If he is damaged by the scandal or forced out, the WNBA loses its most powerful advocate. The league would be left in the hands of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, a leader who has been widely criticized for her passive and ineffective handling of the Clark situation all season. She failed to protect her biggest star, and fans have been calling for her resignation for months. The investigation won't just focus on Clark. It will be a league-wide audit of every suspicious injury, every questionable officiating performance, and every game with irregular betting patterns. Think of all the star players who suddenly had off nights when heavy money was placed on their under. Think of the games where the foul count was so lopsided it defied logic. For years, fans have called these things out as simple incompetence or bad luck. Now the league itself is acknowledging it could be part of a coordinated criminal enterprise. Let's be crystal clear, if this investigation finds evidence of a conspiracy to manipulate games for betting purposes, people will go to jail. This isn't a slap on the wrist. Fixing sporting events is a federal crime. The NBA already lived through the Tim Donaghy scandal, where a referee was imprisoned for betting on games he officiated. But what's being investigated now could be Donaghy on a massive scale, potentially involving players, coaches, and even team personnel across multiple organizations. The timing of this couldn't be more potent. The WNBA season just ended, meaning the data is fresh and the evidence is recent. Investigators can seize phones and electronic communications before they are wiped. Memories are sharp. They can interview players, coaches, and referees about specific plays from specific games that are still clear in everyone's mind. The league is moving with urgency because they know a federal investigation could be next, and they are desperately trying to get ahead of a story that could cripple them. This scandal also has massive international implications. Sports betting is a global, multi-billion-dollar industry. The NBA and WNBA have partnerships with betting operators all over the world. If it's proven that their games were corrupted, it constitutes international fraud. Law enforcement agencies from other countries could launch their own investigations, creating a diplomatic and legal nightmare that extends far beyond American borders. The integrity of the American sports market would be shattered on a global scale. This investigation puts every player and coach in a difficult position. Many likely suspected something was wrong but stayed silent, either out of fear or because they didn't have concrete proof. Others might have been unknowingly used as pawns in a larger scheme. Locker rooms will become minefields of suspicion. How can you trust your teammates or your coaches when you don't know who might be compromising the game for a payout from a bettor? The fabric of trust that holds a team together is being systematically torn apart. The financial fallout could be apocalyptic, especially for the WNBA. Sponsors and media partners like ESPN and Amazon have invested billions on the premise of legitimate competition. If that premise is proven false, they will have grounds to terminate their contracts and demand their money back. For a league that has fought for financial stability for decades, a crisis of integrity like this wouldn't just be a setback, it could be an extinction level. This process will not be quick. The league is building complex monitoring systems and conducting a top-to-bottom review of its policies. This is a multi-year war against corruption, not a single battle. They are preparing for devastating revelations and the fundamental restructuring that will have to follow. The version of the NBA and WNBA that emerges from this scandal will be forever changed, operating under a level of scrutiny we have never seen. For Caitlin Clark, this investigation may finally provide the answers she deserves. Why was she targeted with such relentless and unpenalized violence? Why did the league that was profiting so immensely from her presence refuse to protect her? She has a right to know if her safety was gambled away by people who saw her not as a generational talent, but as a variable in a betting equation. Justice for her isn't just about fines or suspensions. It's about exposing the truth, no matter how ugly it is. The most terrifying part is that the league's own memo admits they believe what's been discovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg. What we know about Jonte Porter and the suspicious patterns in the WNBA is only the beginning. As investigators dig deeper, they are likely to uncover a web of corruption so vast and so entrenched that it will force fans to question the very reality of the games they love. This is bigger than basketball. This is about whether professional sports can still be trusted. What do you think is the most corrupt part of this story? Let me know in the comments.